Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, is on the run because Israel just pulled off its most daring and devastating assassinations yet. In a handful of precision hits, Israel wiped out Iran's entire military top brass and took down several of its leading nuclear scientists. The dead include the chief of staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, commander of the IRGC, and the commander of Iran's emergency command. With the leadership decapitated, the Iranian Armed Forces are running clueless. Even the supreme leader, Khamenei, is holed up in hiding, terrified he might be next. Under the codename Operation Rising Lion, over 200 Israeli fighter jets struck more than 100 carefully chosen targets with at least 330 precision-guided munitions. Iran hasn't felt a blow of this scale since the Iran-Iraq War of the 1980s, and it definitely shattered Khamenei's belief that Tehran was untouchable. Beyond Iran's senior military commanders, Israel also struck several nuclear facilities, as well as key scientists who powered Iran's nuclear ambitions. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu justified the assault as a preemptive necessity, citing intelligence that Iran was just months away from nuclear weapon capability, and amassing missiles that could kill millions even without a nuclear payload. For Jerusalem, it was a do-or-die moment, a one-time window to cripple Iran's nuclear program and gut the IRGC machinery along with it. Now, the IRGC, better known as the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, is Iran's elite paramilitary force. Founded shortly after Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution and personally handpicked by the supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei himself, the IRGC's primary purpose has always been to protect the revolution, the supreme leader, and the Islamic regime at all costs, even against threats from within. Over time, it has grown into a self-contained fighting force with its own ground troops, naval squadrons, a dedicated air wing, and an intelligence apparatus that rivals the Ministry of Intelligence. It also oversees Iran's ballistic military program and drone fleet. What makes the IRGC even more dangerous, though, is its networks of proxy forces. It bankrolls and controls groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, Shiite militias in Iraq, and Hamas in Gaza. Each of these proxies acts as an arm of Iran's forward defense, destabilizing Israel and other Western interests without Tehran having to deploy its own soldiers. Sure, the IRGC built a shadow empire across the Middle East. Whenever there's a conflict in the region that's hostile to Israel and Western interests, you'll almost always find a connection to the IRGC, either by providing weapons, training, planning, or just funding it. Rather than hunting down these proxy groups one by one, a process that could drag on for years, Israel went straight for the source of the power, the IRGC's top leadership. At the very top was Major General Hossein Salami, the commander-in-chief since 2019 and Supreme Leader Khamenei's closest and most trusted lieutenant. Salami was the mastermind behind Iran's aggressive regional posture. Once he took command, the IRGC doubled down on proxy warfare. Salami funneled hundreds of millions of dollars and advanced weaponry into Hezbollah's rocket arsenals. He also helped the Quds forces ramp up overt and covert operations throughout Syria and Iraq. And in Yemen, under Salami's orders, swarms of uncrewed attack drones began striking strategic targets, from military installations to commercial ships in the Red Sea. He personally oversaw the programs that directly threatened Israel's northern border and targeted U.S. forces across the Middle East. Many times before, Salami has openly vowed to wipe Israel off the map, warning that Iran is ready for any war. Ironically, it seems that Salami was super confident that Israel would never dare strike Iran. In fact, mere hours before the attack, he reportedly laughed off Israeli threats. Yet, Salami went to bed Thursday night, only to be killed with a missile delivered straight to his bed. Iranian state media confirmed that he was among the few top targets of the very first wave of Israeli airstrikes. The missile strike was so precise and devastating that Salami and several of his bodyguards died instantly. Images from Tehran showed his high-rise building with its top floors completely gutted. Surprisingly, news of Salami's death sparked celebrations among many Iranians, because he was not only brutal towards foreign adversaries, but ruthless against his own citizens as well. Since 2019, Salami had directed